From Slide Nerd, Waves is back, ladies and gentlemen. What's up? What have you guys been up to lately? First vid, I don't know if you've tried running that. It must have worked. If otherwise, you can leave comments. But in this vid, I'm gonna talk about how to run Hello World using Eclipse. Now this time, no shortcuts. We're gonna go the hard, the long, the lengthy way. So let's go ahead and see what we need for this. What do I need? You need Java JDK, you need the Eclipse, you need Android SDK, and you need the Eclipse ADT plugin. Now I'm gonna tell you what exactly each of them are. Since Android apps use Java, you need to get the JDK first, Eclipse for running your Android project, Android SDK for having your virtual device. Now remember one thing, your Android apps on your computer, they run on a virtual device. There is no real Android phone on your PC, right? So next, and last but not the least, you need to merge Eclipse and Android by using that plugin called Eclipse ADT plugin. So let's go ahead and see how we put all these pieces together to make our Hello World using Eclipse. Step 1, get the JDK. As you guys can see, you'll be overwhelmed with the options over here. I'm gonna download the latest JDK. Click accept the license agreement. I'm using Windows 64-bit machine, so I'll download JDK for my particular machine. If you guys are using something else, you should probably check some other option. Again, the installation is pretty simple. You guys don't have to put your brains behind this. It's just next stuff which we do all the time. Once the install is done, we go to step 2, Eclipse download. Again, I'm gonna have to pick it for 64-bit Windows, which I'm using. I'm gonna go ahead, download it. Eclipse does not need to be installed. It gives a zip file. Just extract the file, open the folder, and plug and play. That's how it works. So I'm gonna go ahead, extract it inside the folder. As you guys can see over here, there's eclipse.exe. Gonna start that. At this point, it's gonna ask me where I wanna put my stuff inside. I'll select a drive other than C drive because our C drive keeps getting formatted and we don't wanna lose our work, right? Just because the C drive got formatted because of some virus or shit like that. So I'm gonna click OK. Third step, we get the Android software, which is the Android SDK. I'll say read the agreement, download the SDK for my version again. At this point, if you click next, you're gonna probably see the screen, which is pretty weird. It's gonna say JDK not found. You and I know very well JDK was installed, but Android doesn't, so we have to tell it. We go to system computer, right click my properties, advanced system settings. Go to environmental variables, user variables, click new, say Java underscore home and full caps lock. Now this is the variable where you're gonna tell the system that where is your Java installed. In my case, it's in C program files, JDK. So I'm gonna put that link in the variable value and I'm gonna click OK. Remember, no bin, no semicolon, nothing, just plain link as it is. So now go back and you guys will see what happens now. Click next and bam, there you go. Android is found with JDK. Click next. Again, I'm gonna make sure that this is not in C drive because that's the last thing I wanna put in C drive. Android downloads like 5 to 6 GB of stuff if you select many platforms. So if you lose it, it's a big headache, I'm telling you again. So don't put this in C drive. Click next, install. And there you go. Run the SDK manager, click finish. And now it's gonna ask me which Android versions do I want so that I can make my apps for that. I'm gonna select the latest one. I'm gonna select the tools option also. As you guys can see, there's a whole lot of platforms here. If you go ahead and download everything, it's gonna be like one big file of 10 GB, I guess. So make sure you carefully choose which platform you want. Remember, Android 4.0 onwards is for both tablets and phones. Android 3.0 or Honeycomb is only for tablets, and anything before that, that is Gingerbread, and the other one, 2.2 Froyo, they are for mobiles only. So I'm gonna take one platform from each. I'm gonna take extras. I know I should be checking all of them at once, but I'm reviewing each of them to see if there is something unwanted, but hopefully they're all good. So I'm gonna go ahead, click install, accept all the agreements at one shot, click install. Now this can take a long time depending on how fast your internet is. So after it's done, I'm gonna go ahead, start Eclipse. Again, I forgot to check the default location. Oh crap. I'll go to Window, Help, Install New Software. Now, the last part, installing the ADT plugin for Eclipse. This is what we are doing exactly. At this point, we have the SDK and we have Eclipse separately, right? We need to merge them together and tell Eclipse that there you have Android. So we need to do that by installing this piece of software called ADT plugin. So I'm gonna go ahead, dlssl google.com. And also, this Android ADT plugin has extra tools for allowing you to debug Android apps and doing other stuff like trace view and debugging, blah blah blah. I should have selected all the options, but I was just reviewing them again. NDK, if you don't want it, you can unselect it. Click accept the agreements. Alright, so at this point you'll get this warning which will say this content is unsigned, blah blah blah, there is no trust. Never mind, just click OK. It's gonna say Eclipse needs to be restarted. Click yup. So when Eclipse restarts, this time I won't miss this option. Yup, I'm gonna take that one, use the default location. Click OK. So now we need to tell Eclipse where our SDK is installed. I'm gonna go ahead, click browse. Remember, SDK was somewhere in my E drive, so I'm gonna go ahead, computer, E drive. I'm gonna go ahead and click apply. As you guys can see at this point, you can see all the platforms over here. Click OK. So now I go to Window, Android virtual device. Now I need to create a device on which I can run my apps. So I'll give it a name. I'll call it Viv's device. Now as you guys know, Android uses an emulator. It's like a real device running on your computer. So you have to select everything, what type, which brand, everything. So I'm gonna select Nexus over here. Target for the latest platform, Android 4.2. As of making this vid, click OK. So at this point my device is over there. I'm gonna start it. Now this is a big pain, to be honest with you. It takes a lot of time to start up. I'm gonna go ahead, file, new, Android application project. Now I'm gonna give it a name, test, a package, slidenet.vivs. Now this package is where your Java files are gonna be put up. Click next. Okay, I don't need a custom launcher, I'll just keep it as it is. Click next. Create a blank activity. Click next. Give it a name. Well, let it be as it is. Click finish. So now here in the layout section you guys can see how my app is gonna look after it is made. And once I start the emulator, there you go, bam, hello world. So I hope you guys understood something out of that vid and how to get your Eclipse running for Android apps. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel, leave your comments and messages, let me hear them, and let's share some interest, have a chat, and I'll catch you guys later. Keep watching, have a nice day, bye from Weaves.